Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is The Walking Dead Deluxe number 4, the recolored version of the classic series. So it's written by Robert Kirkman, art by Tony Moore, color by Dave McCaig, lettering by Russ Wooton. So as I said, like, this series has been really fun to kind of go back and reread. I mean, it's been such a long time since I've read the series from the beginning. Honestly, I rarely went back to go read it. I think I read some of the original stuff, and I don't remember where I picked up on individual issues, and then went and read back the trades. So I probably read this actually as a trade, because I don't think I was reading it when it was first coming out. I got in it at like the teens or 20s or something like that. But the comic is really interesting. Again, I've said this about the previous issues. I'm going to say about this one is rereading this series in the age of COVID gets really fascinating. Obviously we are dealing with a real zombie outbreak, a real pandemic and disease going around. So to be able to read the comic with that context, I think makes things fascinating and very different. When it first came out, it was economic issues and uncertainty. Now we actually have like a real disease where we have to think about a lot of the things that these survivors have to think about, and I think that's makes the series takes it to a whole nother level. This one starts off, there's a lot of discussion about where they should go. Should they hunker down in the field that they're still are? Should they get further away from the city? And there's some talks about like the government coming to get them and what's going to happen when the government comes and saves the day. And I think that's something a lot of us are experiencing now and have been experiencing for some time. When is the government going to get their shit together to actually save the day? And the answer is no one. It's going to be pharmaceuticals that are really going to be the ones that are going to get their shit together, and we're seeing even now everyone's fumbling to figure that out. So yeah, like there's I think a lot of stuff that echoes in this series to the reality of now, and I think that's been a fascinating reread. It's also kind of fun to go back and see some of their thought processes and the things that they learn as they go through and why they learn it. And then the other is to be able to go back and remember some of the stuff from the series that I totally forgot about. I forgot about Jim. Like there's the character Jim in this issue that I don't remember at all. I think it was the previous issue. I think it was the previous issue where Rick's brother's mentioned, and I totally forgot about his brother. And then we got the Walking Dead Alien graphic novel or one shot, whatever you want to call it, that is all about his brother, and I totally forgot he had a brother. So it's kind of fun to go back and see things that we either don't remember or things that pick up way later and that are mentioned. So it's just been a really interesting reread as a whole. The other thing I think is fascinating is going back and checking out the colors. To me, the colors work a little bit better in this issue. There's something that's always been slightly off, and I don't know what it is for me with the series and the coloring. And it's not that the coloring is bad at all. It's just I think I'm so used to the black and white that it's just really weird to go back and reread it with this kind of different thing. It makes it more comic-like, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't quite have that pulpy horror feel as much to it. And I think it'll be interesting once we get the art change, when it's no longer Tony Moore and Charlie Adler gets in, what that's going to be like as far as the coloring, and I think I might dig that a little bit more as well. I'm so used to, I think, Adler's style that more, going back to read more style is throwing me off as well with that, but or seeing more style. But the comic, I mean, it's fun to go back. This is really great. The fact that it's coming out every other week gives some nice pacing to it, and you can go back. It's giving me excuses to go to comic shops a little bit more and go support them. Say maybe once a month. I'm there every other week, and yeah, I mean it's just fun to go back and read this and reread this, knowing what we know since the series completed, and being able to reread this with today's world. I think as it goes on, it's just getting more fascinating to see what it had posited, what it had thought of, like in a societal meltdown, the reality that we live in. So yeah, this has been an interesting comic. Loving it. If you've never read The Walking Dead, this is a great excuse to go and check it out. If you have read it before and maybe want an excuse to go revisit it, this is another great way to do it. The comics also have some extra material in it that I don't believe is going to be in the trades. There's usually notes from the original scripts that Robert Kirkman's kept around. This one has some like fun little things on the bottom that he doesn't remember, and I think that's kind of what's really interesting of him giving some like insight as to maybe tangents he took, things he kind of changed around, or just like, hey, I put this character's name in this instance on this one, is he put a character's name down and he has no idea what the name is. He has no idea why he wrote it, and it's just on the page. So I think that's kind of interesting to see stuff like that. I like the director's cut of this, and I wish more comics did that. I think it's an easy thing to add, and you know, I think it does add a lot to a comic. It gives you a little bit more. So yeah, it's really cool. I'm digging it. I'm loving the series. Go check it out. If you've never read The Walking Dead, now's your chance to do it, one issue at a time. If you've already read it, good excuse to go back from the beginning. Out now in comic shops, go get it. You can go find a local comic shop by checking out a link beneath this video. You put in your zip code or tell the shops near you. No shop, no problem. We've got affiliate links. There are affiliate links. We get a small percentage of that, but you doing that, you support our site, so thank you as well. And yeah, you know, just watching this video, supporting us, and we appreciate that. If you're into Walking Dead, if you're into Skybound, Image Comics, comics in general, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.